Against the targets set in the budget, the government has put up a good show on tax collections. Over 50% of the gross tax revenue aim of 22 lakh crore has been achieved up to November end at 11.35 lakh crore. Although a gap of over 10 lakh crores is visible with respect to the gross tax aim, the numbers do not factor in the advance tax mop-up and the GST collections for December. Purely in terms of net collections or net to the centre, the performance is even better. As per the CGA data, almost 74% of the net target of 15.45 lakh crore has been achieved. And despite the steep excise cuts on fuel, revenues continue to be buoyant. In fact, since as early as November, the government has been confident of surpassing the tax aims set in the budget.
In spite of the duty cuts, not only the excise duty cuts, we've also cut duties on edible oils, and there has been some other reliefs also. That is also going to cost us close to about 20,000 crores in the coming 5 months. So in spite of all this, both on the direct and indirect taxes, I expect the B figures would definitely be exceeded. Let us see by how much. So it's too early for me to make a comment on that. But yes, I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to overachieve our budgeted estimate targets, both on direct taxes and indirect taxes.
So while the tax revenues have grown steadily, so has the government expenditure. The budget size was close to 35 lakh crores, but additional spending of over 3 lakh crores has upset that maths because of 2 cash supplementaries. These were mainly devoted to spending for Air India, export duty refunds, higher food and fertilizer subsidies. This has sizably expanded the government's revenue expenditure by over 9% in 9 months. Hence, the coming budget is likely to pencil in a 38 lakh crore plus budget size for this fiscal, with scope for savings to match higher expenditure also falling in the current financial year.
Big ticket releases may happen in the second half. So it's not as if we are going to be below the... I've seen some reports in the papers by people projecting based on historic trends who suggest that, oh, actually we'll be saving a substantial amount of money. Overall, I think because we have a lot of new expenses coming in, I think most people are underestimating aggregate expenditure.
While the revenue expenditure has grown phenomenally, capital expenditure seems to be lagging. Less than 50% of the budget capex has been used till November end, against an over 58% utilization in the previous fiscal. Hence, in the first half of the year, only 8 states have been allowed additional borrowings for achieving their capex targets. The government, however, has a different perspective to these numbers.
In actual terms, capital expenditure increased by 26% in the first half of this year. So 26% is a pretty big increase at a time when other expenses have not increased. So again, I would state that given that the first 3 months of this year were very bad for capital projects because of lockdowns, having achieved 41% in the first 6 months, and also with that being on a much higher budget estimate of capital expenditure, I'm fairly confident that the year will end with capital expenditure at or close to budget estimates.
Even as the fiscal impact of the Omicron variant is unknown, the finance minister has already spoken about contact-sensitive sectors requiring more support. This could be an indicator of things to come in the budget as repeated COVID waves continue to disrupt lives, livelihoods and businesses. The budget could see the government loosen its purse strings not just on social sector spend and subsidies, but also targeted relief for the poor and the vulnerable. To achieve this, the fiscal deficit aim is unlikely to be a stiff one, even though the tax targets could be somewhat ambitious.